Assalamualaikum and have a good day to the panel and the audience. My name is Ahmad Harif bin Chetli and I am your moderator for our webinar today. Today we are going to discuss about how to stay healthy in the midst of pandemic. Uh, Here we have four panel with us. The first one is Shahril Hafizirayan bin Zainuddin. He is a teacher at SMK Slim River. And the second one is Cik Syarif Iqbal bin Cik Razi. He is student at University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. The third is Muhammad Iqmal Hakim bin Ahmad Salma. He is police at Bukit Aman, and the last one is Muhammad Aiman Izzuddin bin Amirullah. He is doctor at Sungai Buloh. Uh, Before I ask the question to our panelists, may I explain a little bit about COVID-19 and its effects on the people? Coronavirus or COVID-19 is a type of virus that can cause respiratory tract infection. Coronavirus infection can cause a spectrum of symptoms from the common cold to severe pneumonia, and if a person has a weak antibodies, it will lead to death. Therefore, to avoid getting this infection, we must take various steps to so that we always stay healthy. All right. Without wasting the time, we continue the question to our first panel, which is Mr. Shahril Ryan. Um Mr. Shahril, as a teacher, how do you keep yourself healthy in the midst of pandemic? And to be more specific in terms of hygiene, can you share about your opinion? Thank you.
All right. Thank you to Mr. Ahmad Harid, our moderator for today. I hope you are doing well in the thing of health. Um, Thank you for having me as a panelist here today. And back to the question, which is how I stay healthy in terms of hygiene. So there is a relationship between your diet, activity, and health. And nutrient is a key player and whatsoever. But apart from that, lifestyle factor may also determine if you are going to get sick or remain healthy. And the lifestyle that I am trying to say that I mean is a hygienic lifestyle. So as a teacher, I met a lot of people, my colleague and my student. So I have to be more precautious and always keep myself clean so I won't bring any of the virus back home. So I usually bring sanitizer, mask, always wash my hand and clean myself when I reach home. So let's talk about hand washing first. So according to the Center of Disease, hand washing is one of the best way to protect yourself and your family from getting sick. Most people seldom wash their hand before the pandemic hit, especially children or teenagers usually eat without washing their hand. And this should change because eating with a dirty hand can cause other health issue too. So bear in mind that washing hand can help you stay healthy and protected. So make sure to have a hand soap in your house. And then we are also dealing with something that we cannot see, which is a tiny little virus, the coronavirus. So every time you come back home from the market, from your working place or anywhere, you should head straight to the bathroom and shower and clean yourself. This is to make sure that you will not pass the virus to your family. Thus, cleaning yourself after going out is very crucial. Like me, whenever I came back home from the town, I'll go straight to the bathroom and I'll have a very long shower just to make sure that I am really clean. After I'm done showering, then only I can join my family and talk with them. Next is about wearing a mask. So when you are wearing a mask, make sure you don't use the same mask if it get dirty or contaminated. Change your mask after you use it and always bring a clean mask to be used as a spare. And when you are drinking or eating outside, make sure you keep your mask in a clean plastic bag. Don't simply put it on a table under your chin or just leave it exposed. So if you did so, then just change your mask. Use a new one instead. Like me, I always bring a spare mask with me so that I won't be using the same mask if it get contaminated. So it is very important to have masks everywhere you go. And last but not least, when it comes to hygiene, I always keep myself sanitized. Sanitize Sanitizer contain alcohol that can kill the virus. So whenever you are going out, bring along a sanitizer to keep yourself protected from harmful diseases such as the COVID-19. Some people take it even to a next level where their phone, money, their home and stuff that they bought, they sanitize it. So I personally think that that was a good thing to do as you are being concerned with the pandemic. So sanitizer work like soap when it kill the virus. So it's either way, whether you are sanitizing your hand or washing your hand, that will do help you to save you from getting any of the diseases. And to make it even better, when you are going out, make sure you keep social distancing. Do not stand too close with other people. And even though you are wearing mask, because at the end of the day, you are dealing with something that you cannot see. So avoid places that is full of people or crowded. And always keep a 1 meter distance from other people when you are going out to the grocery or shopping. Okay, so in my opinion, for the conclusion, hand washing paired with social distancing, wearing masks, disinfecting frequently, touch surface, and following the SOP are the best defense against COVID-19. So just keep yourself hygiene as possible. So that's all from me. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sharul Ryan, for your explanation. I fully agree with you because for me, I always practice hygiene to take care of my health, as you say. When I come home, I directly take a shower, and when I am in public, I always wear a face mask and follow the SOP. And I also bring the hand sanitizer and use it after touching something. All right, so let's moving on to our next panel, which is Mr. Shari Ikwan. So, Mr. Shari Ikwan, as a student, how can students stay calm and maintain emotional health in dealing with pandemic situation?
Okay, thank you for the moderator for inviting me to in this webinar. The COVID-19 problem affects the mental health of nations. Stress, anxiety, panic attacks, and depression may be affected by individuals, especially those living alone away from family. As a student, taking example of situation student living in Institute of Higher Learning during the MCO movement control order, some of them feeling stressed and are at risk of mental health problem if not handled properly. As a student, first of all, healthy eating should be practiced to maintain health. Consumption of high calorie snacks should be avoided and replaced with fruit and snack high in fiber. Fruit and vegetables are needed to boost the body immune system against disease such as COVID-19. Intake of intake of caffeine and sugary drink should be reduced. Make sure to drink 8 glasses of plain water a day and eat according to set the time. Daily activity can have an impact on sleep quality. Excessive eating and the use of screen electronic device such as cell phone or computer should be avoided before a bed. Internet usage also needs to be controlled. If you feel depressed and worried about COVID-19 related information, read on the internet, stop reading, and divert attention by doing calming activities such as reading novel, drawing, watching drama, listening to music, and other. Make sure the information access is from a reliable sources and do not spread false news. There may be some students who fill their free time by playing online games or digital games. However, this activity should not be done excessively. The World Health Organization (WHO) has classified video game addiction as a mental health problem. There are studies showing that video game addiction can affect the physical and psychological of an individual. The extent to which this activity is relevant and mental health in Malaysia needs to be studied in detail. If students are feeling sad and worrying about something that has happened, is happening, or will happen, get emotional support by communicating with family members, friend, counselor, and trusted individual. The technique of conscious mind of mindfulness that is refocusing on the present without thinking about something that has or will happen can help students to overcome anxiety disorder. In conclusion, as a student, we should have great planning even in pandemic COVID-19. COVID-19 is not only attack our physical but include our mental. COVID-19 is not only attack our physic, student. I'm sorry. Students should be ready for any situation to avoid for any risk. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Sharikwan. From your explanation, I can say that as a student, to stay healthy in the midst of pandemic, a student must prepare themselves both mentally and physically. Am I right? Yeah. Okay, it was a good point. All right. Next is our third panel, which is Mr. Ikma Hakim. So, as a police, how can exercise help us to stay healthy throughout this pandemic? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Moderator. In fact, this exercise can be done at any time. But during this pandemic, we are encouraged to exercise to stay healthy because at this time, many people are forced to work from home and are not allowed to roam to prevent this COVID-19 epidemic. For example, working from home has its own pros and cons. There are some communities that become inactive and depressed. With various problems they face, there are several ways to stay active, for example, by exercising. With exercise, can help strengthen the heart and muscles, as well as improve body structure and balance. More importantly, proper exercise can burn calories, thus losing or assisting weight. Exercise also can help us reduce stress as well as control the quality of our sleep. Thank you.
Uh, okay, next question. All right, thank you, Mr. Ikma. For me, I agree because I also think doing exercise will help us keep healthy in this pandemic. And I always doing exercise at my home, which is Japanese exercise called human tai so. I learned it from YouTube, and I always do it with my family. And for me, it was fun. Also, it give me and my family healthy. Okay, next question is as we know we have limitation to get out of our home. So what kind of exercise can be done while in the home?
As you know, the Movement Control Order (MCO) aims to eradicate the spread of COVID-19 epidemic in the country. Now, the MCO has extended further due to the increase in the number of pandemic cases. Many of the community complain of being bored when they have to be at home and do the same routine. Their reason for not being able to go out to the gym, fitness center, or to the park for a jog like they did before. In fact, as long as you are at home, you can still exercise to keep fit. There is no reason for us not to exercise. Exercise done in any location will affect the individual himself. There are several exercise can be done, such as doing squat, jumping jack, sit up, plank, and so on. All of these exercises do not use tools and are suitable regardless of age limit to be done at home. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Ikma Hakim. I think doing exercise was a good thing to stay healthy in the midst of pandemic. Okay, let's moving on to our last panel or fourth panel, which is Mr. Aiman Izzuddin. So, as a doctor, what do you think is the best way of keeping ourselves healthy in the midst of pandemic? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the great question, Mr. Moderator, Mr. Harris. So first of all, I am very honored that you invited me to join this webinar for today. So from my point of view, one of the way for us to stay healthy in the midst of pandemic is by eating healthier. As we all know that food is one of the most important thing for human. So from there, we could make sure that ourselves will stay in a great shape by eating healthy food. So for today, from what have been said by panel number two, I would like to focus on food that are important for regulating stress. Because from my perspective as a doctor, I could see that this pandemic will cause a lot of disruption with our mental health, from students that are stressed in doing online classes to small business that had to shut down, people that have been fired from their job, and many other things that could cause a lot of us to easily get stressed. So while occasional bout of stress are difficult to avoid, chronic stress can take a serious toll on our physical and emotional health. In fact, it may increase your risk of conditions like heart disease and depression. Interestingly, certain food and beverages may have stress relieving qualities. For instance, the vibrant green tea powder that we all know as matcha is a popular among health enthusiasts because it's rich in L-theanine, a non-protein amino acid with powerful stress relieving properties. Matcha is a better source of this amino acid than other type of green tea as it's made from green tea leaf ground in shade. This process increases its content of certain compounds, including L-theanine. Both human and animal studies show that matcha may reduce stress if its L-theanine content uh, is high enough and its caffeine is low. Next, I would like to recommend you all to eat simple food like sweet potatoes. Eating whole, nutrient-rich carbs, sourced like sweet potato, may help lower level of stress hormone, which is cortisol. Although cortisol levels are tightly regulated, chronic stress can lead to cortisol dysfunction, which may cause inflammation, pain, and other adverse effects. An 8-week study on women with excess weight or obesity found that those who ate a diet rich in whole, nutrient-dense carbs had significantly lower level of salivary cortisol than those who follow a standard American diet, which is high in refined carbs. Sweet potato are a whole food that makes an excellent carb choice. They are packed with nutrients that are important for stress response, such as vitamin C and potassium. And lastly, I know that not many people would try this kind of food, but I would like to recommend you all to try to eat organ meat. Organ meat, which include the heart, liver, and kidney of animal like cows and chicken, are an excellent source of B vitamin, especially B12, B6, riboflavin, and folate, which are essential for stress control. For example, B vitamins are necessary for the production of neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which help regulate our mood. Supplementing with B vitamin or eating food like organ meat may help reduce stress. A review of 18 studies in adults found that B vitamin supplement lowered stress level and significantly benefited their mood. Just one slice, around 85 grams of beef liver, delivers over 50% of daily value for vitamin B and folate, over 200% of daily value for riboflavin, and over 2000% of daily value for vitamin B1. So generally, I would like for you all to eat healthier and try stuff that are healthy for your own body. So that's all for me. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Aiman Izzuddin. From your explanation, I can say that in the midst of pandemic, we must take a good food to keep ourselves healthy. And from your explanation, now I know why my mom always asks me to take good food. All right. Okay, we are already at the end of session. Any last word from our panel?
Yeah, I would like to share some word. I just wanted to say that I agree with all of the other panelists' point. Those are all good sharing. Especially Aiman, where he talked more about food, which is very important, and also Ikwan, which is about students' mental health, and Ikmal about exercising and how it can help us in the midst of the pandemic to stay healthy and all that. So I really appreciate all of your point, and I was very honest to so thank you so much for having me here today. Yeah, that is all from me.
All right. Any panelists want to say any last word?
Okay. From me, I hope you as a student should be care about your mental health because you are all in a study, so you need to need more perform in your study. So it, care about your mental health. Okay, that's all from me.
All right, Mr. Panel, you have any last word?
Give us various benefits, especially during this pandemic. I am, as a police representative, sure that we will continue to serve the community and hope that the public will follow the government recommendation to curb this epidemic from spreading. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, our last panel.
I would like to say that I agree from the point that given by all the panelists, and I hope that you all will stay healthy and be safe in this pandemic.
Okay, I think all these points that you guys say are very important to us, and I hope for all those who is listening, please be reminded that the points are good and should be followed to stay healthy in the midst of pandemic. And I also want to say thank you to all the panels and your advice, and I hope we can work together again in the future. All right, that's all from the webinar today, and from our beloved audience. If you have question, you can just ask. Thank you. Assalamualaikum. See you again.